Do you know what really happened to the Jameson family and the Hinterkaifeck murders? Two macabre and dark mysteries, separated by a huge gap in time, yet possibly more connected than you might think. This is the story you are about to follow. So turn off the lights, grab some popcorn, get closer to the screen, and good luck, you're going to need it. The sinister mystery of the Jameson family. Imagine an apparently ordinary family living a quiet routine in Oklahoma, USA. Bobby Jameson, 44, was a reserved businessman, somewhat introspective, who dreamed of changing his life. His wife, Sherilyn, 40, had a strong personality and, according to some, a dark side. She was interested in spiritual practices and the occult. Together, they had a daughter, Madison, just 6 years old, a sweet little girl, full of life, with a charming smile. But what happened to this family in 2009 remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history. On October 8, 2009, the Jamesons left home with a purpose. They were searching for a new piece of land in a remote area of Latimer County, where they intended to live far from society, in peace. They were never seen alive again. Days later, a disturbing discovery sent chills down the investigators' spines. The family's truck was found abandoned on a deserted dirt road. Inside the vehicle, a true enigma awaited answers. Bobby and Sherilyn's cell phones, untouched. Sherilyn's purse and Bobby's wallet, as if they had never been disturbed. The family dog, trapped inside, dehydrated and nearly starving. And the strangest detail of all, $32,000 in cash, hidden under the seat. Why would someone abandon that much money? If it was a crime, why would the supposed killers leave such a large sum behind? As the police investigated the case, even more sinister details began to emerge. Bobby Jameson believed that their house was haunted by demonic spirits. He even asked a pastor to perform an exorcism in their home. According to friends, Bobby claimed to have seen apparitions and even talked to invisible entities. Sherilyn, on the other hand, had a history of depression and erratic behavior. She was interested in the occult and practiced spiritual rituals. During the investigation, authorities found a strange spell book in the family's house and a disturbing letter written by Sherilyn to Bobby, 11 pages of pure hatred, where she even said she wanted to kill him. To make things even more bizarre, security camera footage from their home, recorded just before the disappearance, showed Bobby and Sherilyn loading belongings into the truck in an almost trance-like state. They moved back and forth repeatedly without showing any emotion, as if they were being controlled by an invisible force. For 4 years, the whereabouts of the Jamesons remained a complete mystery. What happened on that isolated road? Did they flee? Were they murdered? Did something supernatural occur? Then in November 2013, a group of hunters made a horrifying discovery. Just 2.5 miles, 4 kilometers, from where the truck was found, they came across human remains. The bones belonged to Bobby, Sherilyn, and Madison, but due to the advanced state of decomposition, the cause of death could never be determined. To this day, no one knows for sure what happened to the Jameson family, but many theories attempt to explain the mystery. Here are the most likely theories. Premeditated crime. Some believe the family was murdered by an unknown enemy, possibly linked to the money found in the car. But if it was a robbery, why leave the money behind? Ritualistic death. The family's involvement in supernatural beliefs raises the possibility of a sacrifice or a ritual gone wrong. Hypothermia and disorientation. Some theories suggest they got lost in the forest and died of natural causes, But this doesn't explain the untouched money and items in the truck. Murder-suicide. Could one of the parents have killed the others before taking their own life? But if that was the case, how did no one hear or find the bodies for 4 years? The Jameson family case remains one of the most disturbing mysteries in U.S. criminal history. Will we ever get answers? Or will this be yet another dark secret that time will never reveal? If you enjoy mysterious stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more chilling content. Let us know in the comments. What do you think really happened to the Jameson family? The Jameson family case is terrifying, no doubt. A family in isolation, strange events before their disappearance, a mystery never solved. But what if I told you that something eerily similar happened almost a century earlier? Across the ocean, another family was found dead under equally macabre circumstances, and the details between the two cases are frighteningly similar. Coincidence? Or is there something much darker connecting these stories? Now let's go back in time to 1922 in Germany. The location, an isolated farm. The crime, brutal. The answers, none. This is the story of the Hinterkaifeck murders. Imagine a cold, dark night on an isolated farm, surrounded by dense forests and an oppressive silence. In March 1922, an entire family was brutally murdered in Hinterkaifeck, a small rural property in Germany. A gruesome crime that remains unsolved to this day. Now, fast forward nearly 90 years. On the other side of the ocean, in the United States, another family mysteriously disappears, leaving behind an equally disturbing scene. No signs of struggle, no definitive clues, no answers. Are we witnessing a dark pattern repeating throughout history? A supernatural connection between two eerie mysteries? Get ready to learn about two of the most enigmatic cases of all time. The Gruber family lived on an isolated farm in Bavaria, Germany. Andreas Gruber, a strict farmer, his wife, Cecilia, his widowed daughter, Victoria Gabriel, and his 2 grandchildren, 7-year-old Cecilia and 2-year-old Joseph, resided in that house alongside the maid, Maria Baumgartner. But what appeared to be an ordinary home concealed disturbing secrets. Days before the massacre, Andreas reported strange occurrences. Footprints in the snow coming from the forest leading to the house, but never returning. Sounds emanating from the attic. Objects disappearing and reappearing in unlikely places. The family felt they were being watched, but no one could have imagined what was to come. Then on the night of March 31st, 1922, something terrible happened. One or more killers hid in the barn and lured the residents out one by one, where they were brutally murdered with a pickaxe. Then they entered the house and killed the children and the maid. The most terrifying part? The criminal remained on the farm for days after the murders. He fed the animals, lit the fireplace, and even prepared food before vanishing without a trace. Now let's fast forward to 2009. The Jameson family, Bobby, Sherilyn, and little Madison, disappeared without a trace in Latimer County, Oklahoma. Just as in Hinterkaifeck, there were signs of something sinister lurking. Bobby believed his house was haunted and even sought help from a pastor to exorcise evil spirits. Sherilyn had a peculiar interest in the occult and left an enigmatic letter filled with hate and talk of death. And, just as in the German farm, there were inexplicable signs before the tragedy. Security cameras captured the family in an almost trance-like state, mechanically and disorientedly loading belongings into their vehicle. A few days after the disappearance, the Jameson family's truck was found on a remote dirt road. Inside the vehicle were cell phones, a wallet, cash, and even the family dog, still alive but on the brink of death. But the family, gone. It wasn't until 4 years later that their remains were discovered just a few kilometers away. The cause of death? An enigma. The frightening similarities between the two cases. Now look at both cases and see how the terror repeats. Both families lived in isolated areas, shrouded in mysteries before the tragedy. Both reported strange signs before disappearing, footsteps, moved objects, and feelings of being watched. In Hinterkaifeck, the bodies were found days later, yet the killer remained in the house. In the Jameson case, the bodies weren't discovered until 4 years later, while the truck and belongings were left behind as if they had simply vanished into thin air. Neither case has been solved. There are no concrete suspects, only disturbing theories. Supernatural and paranormal elements permeate both mysteries. Are we witnessing patterns that span time and space? Are these mere coincidences or forces acting beyond our comprehension? What really happened to the Gruber family and the Jameson family? And you? What do you think of these similarities? Leave your opinion in the comments. Subscribe to the channel for more chilling stories like this and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any spine-tingling mysteries. Thank you for watching the video so far. And remember, when you go to sleep, always make sure you're really alone. We never know what might be hiding under the bed or in the corner when we're not looking.